Alright, what's going on YouTube? Casual here on the channel for you guys, giving you a deck profile for Shining Sarcophagus. This particular deck profile is a anime deck. It's not really anything too fancy or anything like that. It's one of those things where it can potentially be meta in a way, and very good at breaking boards, even though you don't run an extra deck. But we're going to hop into this. I'm not going to make this video too long for you. We're just going to hop right into this just so you can see what the cards do, or hear about what the cards do, and maybe even be interested in Shining Sarcophagus. But first up, we do have the Gandora G, the Dragon of Destruction. Basically, this is your main combo card of the deck, the card you want to go for when you are trying to break your opponent's board. Usually, a lot of times, you actually want your opponent to have a board so that you can basically blow up their field and banish all their cards. And then he gains 300 for each one. And on top of that, you can special summon one level 7 or lower monster that mentions Shining Sarcophagus basically in its text or in its name. And pretty much special summon that to the field. And depending on how many cards are banished off of his effect, that particular monster gains levels equal to the amount of cards banished off of Gandora's effect. So, next up, we do run the Silent Magician 0. And this is one of the cards that benefits being summoned off of Gandora. It gains levels equal to the number of cards banished. And the reason why it benefits off of that is because each time it gains a level, it gains 500 points, attack points. This also is a spell negate, Omni spell negate card. I wouldn't say Omni negate, but just a spell negation. And then, yeah. And then when it negates a spell card activation, it also gains a level off that as well. And each time your opponent draws a card, it gains a star level as well. So there is a little bit of like a combo that I can show you later on in the video that explains basically how you can pretty much maximize effects like hers. So next up, I do run the Silent Swordsman 0 as well. Basically, he is another one that will actually basically benefit off of being summoned off of Gandora, and pretty much gaining levels equal to the amount of cards banished off of Gandora's effect. He also gains 500 for each time he gains a star level, and he can negate any card effect that targets a monster that mentions Shining Sarcophagus in its text. Which is pretty cool. And yeah, and then of course after he negates that, he also gains a star level off that. And on top of that, every standby phase, doesn't matter whose standby phase it is, he gains a star level every single standby phase as well. Next up, you do have the Gadget Trio. With Gadget Trio's effect is when it's normal summon or special summon, you can add Shining Sarcophagus directly from your deck to your hand, or any card, spell track card that mentions Shining Sarcophagus in its text. And when it's destroyed, you can particular card that pertains to Gadget Trio directly. You can set a card called Stronghold directly from your deck to your back row. Let's set there. And next up, do run the triple Dark Magician Girl, the Magician's Apprentice. She is another card that basically helps you get your Shining Sarcophagus. And she gains 300 attack points for each card on the field that is either Shining Sarcophagus or mentions Shining Sarcophagus in its text, which is pretty cool. She can gain, I think besides herself... Oh no, that includes herself. Yes. And so basically, you gain 300 up to, I believe, which is it, like 6 times maybe more. yeah, so so there also, I mean, also how you can actually special summon her is too, is you could just discard one card from your hand, and then basically special summon her, and if she's special summoned that way, her name is treated as Dark Magician Girl, which is pretty cool. Next up, you do have the Dark Magician, the Magician of Black Chaos. Basically, this card is treated as Dark Magician while on the field, and upon its own destruction, you can set one card, spell track card, that mentions Dark Magician in its text. And then, of course, while you that particular card it has to do with Dark Magician. So as long as you control a magician on the field that is treated as Dark Magician, you can basically maximize the effect of that particular spell track card. Next up, we do have the Archer's, Archfiend's Advent. Basically, what this does is if you have Shining Sarcophagus on the field, when it's you can use it as a free normal summon. Basically, kind of like Cyber Dragon, but except for you just use normal summon without tribute when you have Shining Sarcophagus on the field. Upon summon, you can basically snatch steal your opponent's monster, but you cannot attack with that opponent's monster. So usually a lot of times it's just to basically just get a problem card either out of the way, or you can maybe do exceed plays with it if that's the type of build you're going for with this particular deck. But yeah, I mean, and then that's pretty much it. Oh, I'm so sorry. And it also all monsters you currently control gain 500 attack while he's on the field as well, except for himself, I believe, right? Yeah, it says other monsters you control gain 500 attack, so it's except himself. And just going back to Dark Magician, the Magician of Black Magic, for a second. It does have the ability when it's destroyed, you can reoccur itself back from the graveyard or out of play. It doesn't really matter from where, as long as it's destroyed by a card effect. And then upon destruction, you bring yourself back, and then you set the spell track card that I mentioned from your deck to your field. And then, yeah, you go on from there. Next up, we do have more Marshmallow, which is kind of like your stall card of the deck. As long as you have Shining Sarcophagus on the field, while this card is on the field, your opponent cannot select any other monster at all. It doesn't matter if it mentions Shining Sarcophagus or not. As long as you have Shining Sarcophagus on the field with this card, your opponent cannot select any other monsters on the field for an attack target except for more Marshmallow. And of course, while Shining Sarcophagus is on the field, it cannot be destroyed by battle. I think it's it cannot be destroyed by battle, but it can be destroyed by card effect. And if it is destroyed by card effect, you can recur another copy, a separate copy, either from your graveyard, your deck, or out of play to your field. And then when that copy is special summoned, you can inflict 1,000 points of damage to your opponent off of this effect. And of course, while Shining Sarcophagus is still in the field, it cannot be destroyed by battle. And it's the only attack target your opponent can select as an attack target, which is pretty cool. Last but not least, last card of the deck is a non-Shining Sarcophagus card, which is the Fiend Shinjao. I can't even say the name. I'm so sorry, guys. It's not my day. I'm just going to say Fiend because that's what it says in his name, Fiend. Basically, what this does is you can discard this card from your hand and one spell card to destroy a monster or monsters that is special summoned by your opponent. And it's a hard once per turn. So basically, this is just a kind of like a card where it just helps you pretty much out your opponent on certain things. Moving on to spells, your main card you're going to be searching out from your deck is, of course, your Shining Sarcophagus. Must run it at 3. 3 is a must. There is no such thing as it being a brick. Bricks don't exist when it comes to Giant Sarcophagus. Pretty much what it does is, of course, upon activation, you can search one card that mentions Giant Sarcophagus from your deck to your hand. Of course, during your main phase 1 only. And then if your opponent special summons a monster or monsters, you can send one spell card from your hand to the graveyard, target one of those monsters or monsters, and send it to the graveyard. So if you have a problem card where it gains an effect off its own destruction, then basically sending it to the graveyard, it will help you get around that. Cards that cannot be destroyed by card effect can just you're not destroying it, you're sending it. So this is great, right? So another card you're definitely gonna be searching for a lot is Ties That Bind. Basically, this allows you to, as long as you have Giant Sarcophagus and a monster that mentions Giant Sarcophagus on your field, you can basically activate this, special summon up to 2 level 4 or lower monsters that mention Giant Sarcophagus from your hand and or deck. But for the rest of the turn, after this effect resolves, you cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck, which is okay because with this particular deck, we don't use extra deck with this particular build. If you are looking to use a build with Giant Sarcophagus that does use extra deck, then you may not want to run this card at 3. You may only want to run it at 1. It is searchable, so that is okay to run it at 1. I am running it at 3 because I do not run extra deck. Next up, you do have the Turn Silent. Basically, what this does is you could target one face-up monster you control, increase its level by 3. If this card is activated in response to an opponent's monster effect activation, while you control Giant Sarcophagus, and a monster that mentions Giant Sarcophagus, negate the opponent's effect during the damage calculation. If your monster that mentions Giant Sarcophagus battles an opponent's monster, I could banish this card, end the battle phase if need be. But yeah, so which is actually pretty good. So outside the battle phase, I could pretty much use this as a negation. This can be used in tandem with either Magician or Swordsman, whichever one you want to boost at that point in time. You can pretty much now just activate this, select one of them, negate. So basically, this is actually really good for like if you just have Magician on the field. Magician can negate spells. This negates monster effects. So if you don't have access to your Swordsman at that time, and you do have your Magician on the field, you can basically gain 3 levels, which is just 1500 attack, should become 2500, and on top of that, you can negate a monster effect, and then if they try to activate a spell card in chain, basically stop this for whatever reason, then you could just negate the spell, which is kind of cool, and vice versa. If you have Swordsman, which is even better to be honest, you have Swordsman and you use this to negate something, and then your opponent tries to, well, if you use this to, I'm sorry, it would be the opposite. If you use this to negate, and then your opponent tries to negate your negation attempt, then you can basically just activate this, negate them anyway, as long as it's a monster effect. And then he gains 3 levels yet again. He would be 1500, boosted up, which is 2500 altogether. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of utilization with this deck. You can definitely combo off pretty well with certain cards as long as you know how to use them. But that is one of the combos that you can pretty much use that for. Yet again, another combo piece you can use for either Swordsman or swordsman, or what you call it, magician, is this. And I mean, basically, and honestly, it's not really both. It's just mainly just magician, to be honest. For the simple fact that this particular card allows you to add a magician, a monster that mentions Shiny Sarcophagus, and when you do, if this card is activated during the battle step, right? Let me just double check this. So sorry, guys. It's been a while since I read it. Okay, so you can add one from your deck to your hand, which anything that mentions Shiny Sarcophagus, as long as it's a monster. And then, if it's activated during the battle phase, while you control Shiny Sarcophagus and a monster that mentions Shiny Sarcophagus, each player draws cards until they have 6 cards in their hand. And then this is also a hard once per turn. But the thing is this card gains level every single time your opponent draws a card. So every time your opponent draws a card, this card gains 1 level. And if your opponent barely has any cards in their hand, so say they have 1 to 0 cards in their hand, that is a 6 level increase, which is a 3,000 attack boost increase. So it'd be 4,000 attack. And pretty much you could just also negate any interruptions according to this, you know what I mean, when it comes to this card's activation, you know what I mean. So alright, so moving on from there, we do have some cards that are not related to Shiny Sarcophagus, but are also useful. Spell card wise, that is. Spells that spellbound. Basically, anything that your opponent currently controls cannot be used for synchro, tributes, or exceed summons, or fusions, or link summon for the turn. Self-explanatory, nothing really surprising there. And also to basically make sure that my my combo goes off with the Gandora. Usually at times I will try to attempt to activate this and also, you know, play this as well. If this goes through, this is guaranteed. This negates everything on my opponent's field and just basically just says sayonara. You know, this is your big main board breaking combo. If this goes off, this will literally break any board. So it's just, I mean, it's just too good not to try to run. And it's very easy. It's very easy to gain access to Gandora. It's not hard. So traps that have to do with Shiny Sarcophagus is, of course, Dark Magic Mirror Force. So this is the card that you would actually access off of your what you call it, the Dark Magician, the Magician of Black Magic. So when he dies, if he gets destroyed by card effect and sent to the graveyard or banished, you can recur him back to the field, set a copy of this from your deck to your field, and then pretty much go from there. And of course, when this card is activated, as long as you have him on the field, and when he's on the field, he's treated as Dark Magician. So as long as you have a card that is that mentions Dark Magician, you can pretty much destroy as many cards as destroy as many tap position monsters your opponent currently controls as possible. Then if you control Dark Magician, you inflict 500 points of damage for each card destroyed by this card effect. And then okay, and then for the rest of this turn, after it resolves, the first time a monster you control that mentions Shiny Sarcophagus would be destroyed by battle or by card effect, it is not. So for the rest of the turn, which is actually pretty cool, right? Phenomenal. Phenomenal. I actually love this deck. I've actually dueled with it a couple of times, and I've had a lot of fun with it. Alright, so I'm going to put that back. Alright, so next up, like I said before, there are cards when they die, you gain certain access to certain spell and try cards. And yet, here's another example. Stronghold, I did mention that earlier in the video. You get that off of your Gadget Trio. When this dies, you set the Stronghold. And when Stronghold is activated, it goes to your monster zone. So it's a monster trap card. It gains 1,000 off for each card on the field, including spells and traps that montion Shining Sarcophagus in its text or in its name, including itself. So all together, if you had five other monsters on the field, we'll get 4 other monsters on the field, including itself. So that's 5k. And if you had Shining Sarcophagus, that's 6k. It gains 6,000 attack, which is pretty cool. And yeah, I mean, this is like it's kind of like a beatdown deck, guys. You know, it's kind of like a beatdown deck. So, I mean, there's many combos. There's many like fail-safe stuff you can do if certain combos don't fall through. You do. But this deck has like a lot of engine. It has a lot of engine that's just pure Shining Sarcophagus, which is really great. It's kind of hard to find decks that are like that. Usually, a lot of times people like to combine decks with other decks just because that pure engine for follow-up, like say if your combos fall through, that follow-up falls through, you really don't have a backup. This deck can literally sustain itself. It can. So, just for extra support, just in case for some reason I do run into pendulums or something along those lines, I do run triple bottomless, or just for something, just for also for Gandor, you know, destroy and banish. Just trying to maximize, certain effects in the deck. Also, triple Sound Strike. It's a 3, might as well, right? Nothing really to explain about there. And last but not least, the card that will make everything with Gandor go haywire. Boom. Macrocosmo. Now, when this card came back to 3, I was one of those people that was hunting for it, and I can only find 2. I couldn't find 3 anywhere. A lot of places I went to, I had to order each of these copies from different sites. One was from TCG Player, the other one was from Amazon. Literally, like, only 1 copy left on each site, so I had to do with what I can get. And yeah, self-explanatory. Macrocosmo helps you with more Gandor. Gandor is your main board breaker. It's going to be your main pusher game, pretty much. Your main board breaker. So a lot of these cards in here help protect Gandor and also help Gandor pop off sufficiently. Now, if you guys did enjoy that deck profile, please hit the like button. Consider subscribing to the channel if you guys are new. And yeah, I will be uploading this video on my original channel, Casual Elite. I will link the channel, my new channel, in the description box below when I upload this to my original channel. If you're watching this on my new channel, don't worry about the link because you guys are already there. But yeah, with that said, I'm going to sign off here for you guys today. Hope you guys did enjoy and found that informative. Yet again, it is an anime deck, but it's an anime deck that can potentially be meta or anti-meta, because usually when it comes to meta, you're usually utilizing extra deck for the most part. This deck can literally sustain itself. You do not need extra deck at all. If you want to run extra deck, that is your own prerogative. But the core deck is strong. If a combo falls through, you can definitely recover very quickly with this build. And yeah, I'm happy I got everything that has come out for Shining Sarcophagus thus far. If I missed anything, guys, regarding to Shining Sarcophagus, please let me know in the comment section below, because I'll definitely be hunting for those cards, believe me. But with that said, guys, I'm going to sign off for you guys today, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.